Hey, what's up? This is the Oppo A17 and this is a budget smartphone from Oppo, although this looks very premium, and in this video we're gonna review this phone. So let's start. This video is sponsored by Mars2, Planet of Smartphone and Gadgets. We'll be talking about that in a minute. At the first look at this device, this thing looks pretty premium, and they have made a leather finish on the back, which is kind of familiar with the leather finish on the Oppo F21 Pro. They are much expensive smartphones, but you can get that texture on this budget series smartphone also. But these are not actual leather, these are made by plastic, and it kind of mimic those leather, and for the first time you might mistake it as leather. That actually happened to me. I was thinking this was leather, but this was not. The build quality is quite good. This thing feels solid on hand. The display is a 6.56 inches LCD display, and it is a HD plus display, so not that much of sharpness in this display. And in my day-to-day experience, the colors were right to the point. I mean, they are just good, and the brightness was quite enough to just work in the sunny day. So you should not have any issues using it in the sunny days. And unfortunately, they have a V notch on the top. You can see we kind of have to accept at this price point in whatever is this. Now the fingerprint is integrated into the power button, and I'm totally not a big fan of this kind of design because this thing limits what you can do with the power button, so that's a negative for this phone. In terms of the size and the weight, this thing is just right in my hands. I have really big hands, but people with smaller hands might find some issues, and this software is not optimized for single hand usability, so that may be issues for someone with a smaller hand than me. But the weight of this phone is to the point, and it doesn't feel heavy on my hands. On the right side of this phone, we have the SIM tray, which does feature an SD card and two SIM cards, so you can use two 4G SIM cards and an SD card simultaneously. That's a good thing. On the bottom, we have the headphone jack, a microphone, and yeah, you got that right. That's a micro USB. I mean, what? That might be a deal breaker for some people, but might not be a deal breaker who are into that micro USB still now. But in this era where most of the smartphones are switching towards the USB-C, and our other peripherals also come with USB-C, so that can be a bummer. You have to carry an extra micro USB converter or other cable for that. It depends on what you prefer. On the next side, we have the single speaker. Now this one doesn't feature any stereo speaker system, so that's the one you got. Now for the speaker, we have tested the speaker in outdoor condition with full noise outside around, and the speaker sounded really good, but it actually gets distorted on the high ends of the volume. But for the price tag, this thing just feels okay. And on the right side, we have the power button, which also integrates the fingerprint reader, and on the top we have the volume rocker. Now the button placement are right on the point, so no issues with that. And on the top is totally flat because we don't have any secondary microphone for noise cancellation or stuff like that, so that's the down point. Under the hood, this thing packs up the MediaTek Helio G35, which has 12nm threads, which is not very efficient and not very performance-centric SoC, along with the 4GB RAM and 64GB internal storage. Now 64GB may be okay for some people, but those people who take a lot of photos and videos, 64GB is entirely ridiculous amount of storage you can get on this one. Now the storage is not the very fast one. This is the eMMC 5.1. Those who don't know what that means, it's that this is not the fastest type of memory chip available out there, so app loading time is greater on this phone. That means you have to wait till the app open, and as far as the G35 is not that very efficient and performance-centric SoC, this thing actually kind of laggy. Now for the camera side, the Oppo A17 has featured a 50MP main sensor with a 2MP depth sensor, which is of no work because you can take portrait shots with the rear camera. I don't know why. And they have featured a 5MP selfie camera, which is kind of okay-ish. We'll see at the samples coming out of the smartphone. Now for the camera app, there are almost all kind of features available there. You can also get the night mode, and in the mode option you will get some basic features Obviously you can shoot on Pro mode, that's only for photos obviously, and on the top down menu you'll get a ton of option over there. So there is an option called the dazzle color, which if you enable they'll produce more vibrant colors. They're just okay. But there is also some filters built into the camera app, which may be handy for some people. Now for the Pro mode you can get all kinds of manual controls for your photos. You can choose your white balance, but what I found very interesting is that the manual focus option. That might be handy while taking photos. Big thumbs up for that. Although it has a depth sensing camera, but it doesn't feature portrait mode shot on the rear camera, but the portrait mode shots are available on the front camera. I don't get the point. What is that? However, the daytime shot coming out of this phone actually really good, and the dynamic range is also quite impressive for the price and what it is. I think Oppo did a good job in here, but the colors don't feel bright to my eyes. Like they could be much more punchier. Although it doesn't feature any optical zoom, you can digitally zoom in the camera app, and the zoom in photos looks good. For the nighttime shots, we don't expect much in this price segment, but the nighttime shot from this Oppo A17 come really good, and it has a dedicated night mode, which also does help with the condition also. Now this thing can record 1080p videos, and the videos is as it is, just to the point. Now for the battery side, this thing has packed up a 5000 milliamps battery, which is huge, and this thing can easily run you a day and maybe day and a half easily. Out of the box, this thing comes with a ColorOS 12.1, which is based on Android 12. They haven't launched Android 13 yet. I haven't got any update. I actually received one update, but that's just a security update, not the Android 13 update, and there is no clear declaration about how much update this phone is going to get. Now this thing prices at 16,000 TKs at Mars 2, and big shout out to our today's sponsor Mars 2. Mars 2 is a group of smartphone shop located at the 3rd floor of Sattarkhan complex at Kumilla. No matter which smartphone you need, they have all of the brands covered. To get you next phone at the best price, visit Mars 2 from the links in the description below. And you can get even a better deal if you refer yourself as my subscriber. So definitely check it out. So now what is my take on this Oppo A17? Like for this price tag, this thing is just an okay smartphone. It will do you day-to-day tasks like opening apps and stuff like that. And if you have just one or two social media apps and apps that runs in the background and takes a lot of data processing, they would do just okay. But if you are a gamer, like you play very heavy demanding game, they are not gonna run in this phone. You can definitely play some lightweight games on it. Like I would not recommend playing more than one game on this phone, and this thing would just do your basic stuffs okay. And for the camera, they are not that much impressive, but they are just okay for this price tag. So this is all about the Oppo A17. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you soon with some new interesting videos. Till then, stay good, keep good, and keep doing incredible things. And yes, of course, keep watching Incredible Victor. For any purchase, visit Mars 2 from the links in the description below. See you later.